Hey, what's up? It's about 5 a.m. I'm at the hostel here in Panama City. Got up super early because I'm getting a ride out to Puerto de Carti to start my journey to Colombia.
Puerto de Carti is the easternmost town on the Caribbean coast of Panama that is accessible by road. We drove over the central mountains and down to the coast, where a speedboat was waiting to take me on the first leg of my crossing to South America.
Welcome to Cranking It. Yeah, we cranking it. Welcome to Cranking It. Yeah, we cranking it.
There are several ways cycle tourists get around the Daren Gap. Some fly, others choose to take a luxury cruise. I opted for the third option, local speedboats that operate between coastal towns and villages between Colombia and Panama. Getting around the Daren Gap this way actually requires several short trips. After getting a ride from Panama City to Puerto de Carti, I boarded a boat that I had arranged, which would take me as far as Caledonia, a small indigenous village on an island off the coast of Panama. From there, I would need a hitch a ride to Puerto Obaldía, a coastal settlement near the border with Colombia where I could get my exit stamp from Panama. From there, it was just another short hop across the border to Capurganá, Colombia, for my entry stamp, and then a regular ferry could take me to mainland Colombia at Necoclí, where I could continue on my bicycle once again. The first ride was by far the longest. After getting my bicycle and gear loaded, we sped off through countless tiny tropical islands and villages. After several hours, we arrived in Caledonia in the afternoon. For a couple hours, I walked around, expecting to spend the night. But then another boat showed up that was going to the next town. After a bit of negotiating, I got my bike on board and we were headed to Puerto Obaldía.
Alright, so I made it to Puerto Obaldía last night. This is where the immigration office is to get the exit stamp from Panama. So I'm just gonna head there now and hopefully that goes smoothly. Alright, so the exit process went pretty well. Pretty smooth. Now I'm headed to the dock to see if I can find a speedboat to take me to Colombia.
After securing my exit stamp, I headed down to the beach and basically just hung around and waited for somebody to take me to Colombia. A short time later, someone showed up, and I was on my way to Capurganá. Once I arrived, I got my entry stamp into Colombia and a ticket for the ferry to Necoclí.
Alright, I'm in Necoclí, mainland Colombia. So, I made it. You know, it was turned out to be pretty smooth, just like I was hoping. Yeah. Now I think I'm just gonna head to a hostel and probably prepare my stuff, make sure everything is okay on the bike, and then I'm going in. Okay, so I did notice something wrong. I got a few cranks in, and then the resistance just went away. So here, check this out. Not really what you want to see from your bike. Yeah, I guess I would recommend definitely wrapping your rear wheel in a trash bag before transporting it on speedboats across the water. So I'm here at a bike shop, and we're gonna see if we can get it fixed. Either that or get a new rear wheel, I guess. So, done with the Daren crossing and on to the next challenge.
Luckily, the only bike shop in town happened to have an extra Shimano hub, and the mechanic quickly unlaced my wheel and rebuilt it around the new hub. With the new hub in place, I headed off into Colombia. For a couple days, I rode through banana plantations, and then I started heading up into the mountains. With the mountainous terrain came tunnels, which are a bit terrifying to ride through on a bike.
Alright, made it to Colombia, South America. Finally, I'm headed away from the coast, up into the mountains. Pretty glad to be going uphill, especially now that I'm headed into the Andes. I know that this elevation I'm gaining right now, I'm gonna hold on to it. The plan is basically to go up into the mountains and not come down till it's cool.
The hills were often long and arduous, but they always rewarded me with beautiful views and glorious descents. Many of the towns I rode through had beautiful squares, quaint cobbled streets, and even bike paths. As I climbed the last hill before Medellin, I was starting to worry about the 5-kilometer tunnel ahead. My plan was to try to hitch a ride through, but before I had a chance to stick out my thumb, a truck stopped and offered me a ride. I took the day off to explore the city, which was full of art, architecture, murals, and sculptures. Back up in the mountains, I made my way through windy mountain roads and found myself in a town in the middle of a procession. The traffic along these narrow roads was intimidating at first, but before long I felt comfortable whipping around corners.
Well, I'm about 10 days into Colombia now, and I really love it. It's got to be one of my favorite countries so far. I think it's one of the most consistently beautiful countries that I've been in. Almost every day there's an amazing view from the top of a hill or mountain. And the weather's gotten better. It's definitely cooler up here than it was down in Central America on the coast. The afternoon rainstorms have stopped, and it's bright and sunny most days. I know it's a bit cliche, but the people here are just super nice too. I've gotten more offers of food and drink from random passersby than in any other country. Everything is super cheap as well. Like hotel rooms are consistently under $10. It's a shame that I'm having to sort of hurry through this country. It's almost August, and I'm definitely, starting to look at the schedule for the rest of the ride, the itinerary, try to plot that out, what it looks like. The goal is to get to Ushuaia before March, because I think that's when it'll start to get really rainy and nasty down there. So basically I've got 7 months. It's funny how the trip is so long, it's like a year and a half, and yet I still don't have time to do everything that I want. But I guess that's just how it goes when you're riding through some amazing places.
As I continued south, the mountains got higher and the roads became more remote. I rode along ridges, down valleys, and then back up again.
Getting close to the border now. Finally, I'm up in the mountains for reals this time. Feels pretty good. It's pretty cloudy today. Perfect weather for cranking it. I'm out of the heat and into the mountains. Of course, that's not to say things are about to get easier. Actually, I think that things are about to get a lot harder.
Next episode, I'll start the Trans-Ecuador mountain biking route. For the first time since Mexico, I'll be riding unpaved, rugged, high mountain roads. I've been looking forward to this route ever since I started planning this trip. I couldn't be more excited.
Well, there you go. That's episode 11. Colombia in the bag. You know, I really enjoyed my time in Colombia. Such a beautiful country, such nice people. I really wish I could have spent more time there, but like I mentioned in the episode, and in every episode since episode 7, lately I've been feeling like I'm kind of behind schedule if I want to get to Ushuaia before March, which is when I figure that's kind of when the weather turns a little bit nasty down there. So as I'm recording this, it's the middle of August. That means I've got about 6.5 months to do the rest of South America. I think I can do it, but it will mean taking fewer rest days and just cranking a bit harder in general. Therefore, I think I might not be uploading quite so frequently, so I hope you'll forgive that. I'll try to do more editing on the road. Thank you so much for watching, and a huge thank you to my supporters on Patreon, and especially my Crank Tier supporters: Judy Friesem, Dan Phillips, Gran Baron Mickle, Kate and Mike Glasser, Jane Hilton, JK, Michael Barker, Marion Hinman, D. Axelrod, and Ed and Holly. If you would like to help support the channel, please remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons and leave a comment below. This helps the algorithm promote these videos and helps the channel grow. Or if you're feeling generous, you can head over to patreon.com/crankinit and join the Crankin' It community there. Thank you so much.